Live with episode 37 of the Almost Daily Show. Can you believe we're episode 37 of the Almost Daily Show? Do you hear that? It's an echo. That's because we got to go live. We're on a preview. Wow, that was exciting.
Very exciting. I like hearing myself.
Yeah. I like the sound of your voice.
Well, you know, it's my fancy pants mic.
Yeah, you have the voice of an angel.
Well, you know, I've been told that.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but you do.
So, episode 37 of the Almost Daily Show. I think we're rolling.
Yeah, can you believe it? We made it like we're deep in this now, like deep. Blood in, blood out style.
That's right. That's right. I think we have a good topic for tonight, too.
Yeah. Just like the idea of entrepreneurship and the highs and the lows and the whole grind of it all, because sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it sucks, sometimes you're just kind of flowing around, and sometimes you don't know which way is up.
That way.
And sometimes that way. Which one? That way?
I don't think it matters. Down doesn't matter anymore when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I think it's always
look at the 20-year growth curve.
That's true. And I think it's always in like a random direction, like which way is up, and you go like this.
That's right.
Then you figure out where up.
The pillow.
But it's a pretty cool topic because of more often than not, I had to close the door to my office. More often than not, people think of entrepreneurship as something that's like super sexy and where you get to buy $9,000 pieces of office furniture and tell everybody you're an entrepreneur and put it in your Instagram bio, and then you get to tell everybody you're super cool. But in reality, it's hard work. It's working when other people aren't working, and then taking days off when other people aren't taking days off. It's grinding it out late sometimes it's not. It's a variable journey based on where you are in your business and where your business is at.
Yeah, you know, like you said something like taking days off when other people are working. So what's interesting is a day. There's never days off. I know, like when we go on vacation, when we wake up until about noon, we work, and then we go off for the day to do the vacation type stuff, right? But it's like flash breaks. So it could be out of nowhere a Wednesday afternoon at 2:00, and right, there's no fires to be put out, and there's no thing that's a hard schedule. So you're just like, let's go to the movies, right? Like, you can't really plan it. Like, if I said we're going to the movies next Wednesday at this time, most likely I'm throwing those tickets away because I'm not going to the movies next Wednesday. I have no idea what I'm doing next Wednesday, but I know it's not that easy, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can plan stuff in advance for the business and for the advancement of the business, especially in the early stages, but you can't plan things outside of that because chances are, like you're saying, you buy that movie ticket and then a massive fire is going to go up in what's happened in your business. You have to put it out. You're going to spend the next 3 days putting it out.
That's
so
right.
Your ticket's garbage. And then, like you were saying, sometimes we don't have anything to do. Everything's going smoothly. So on a Wednesday afternoon, we're drinking beers at the pub or hanging out and barbecuing.
Yeah, because it's downtime and you can get away with that type of stuff, right? So I think that the key with entrepreneurship is like we have a drive inside us to always progress. It's not even always about the money. I think some people are addicted to the money, where that's their drive. Most people are addicted to the work, you know, and actually chasing the vision, and they just love seeing the progress and you know, getting creative and seeing that creativity come to life, you know, and it's addicting, and it's 7 days a week. Most of the time, you know, we have a lot of projects going on and lots in our lives. It used to be just me. Now, you know, I've done something pretty unique. I think you have too, but I dragged my wife into my crazy world and mind. And the two of us will wake up at 2 a.m. writing notes because we don't want to forget for the next day. Right?
Exactly. That's a good point. It's once you get past the money and the money isn't the driver anymore, that's when you're really on the journey you need to be on. And that's when you figured out what you really need to pursue, because it's not an addiction of money. It's an addiction of getting further and figuring new stuff out. And you're so excited about it. You have a literal addiction to it, and you can't stop doing it because you enjoy doing it so much. And That's why we drag our significant others. And it's why on my iPhone, I have 27 pages of notes that I've written, because I just have these thoughts and I have to write them down before I forget to put them into practice in the business.
Right.
And it's also why.
No, you're in a flow. You keep going.
Okay. And it's also why when we're actually in business, it's why we're able to come up with ideas and not worry about the money right now. We know this is going to work and it's going to make money 12 months from now or 18 months from now, but we're not worried about the quick fix tomorrow. And that's what separates us from like the real entrepreneurship, where you're really building businesses, versus the fake people who are out there saying they're telling people they build businesses because they're like a digital marketer or something, or they're a business growth expert, or what's one of the other buzzwords? Growth hacker?
Yeah, which I never quite understood. But a lot of the times, especially in our realm, like we've been doing a good job where we like building relationships and only working with certain types of businesses. But a lot of the times we see it in the business consulting world, the marketing world. People that actually can't do it are usually the ones that are selling you the service. They're not real entrepreneurs. They're not really out creating and doing different things. They're just trying to sell you something, right? That's
my favorite piece.
Right?
When someone says, I build businesses, and you ask them what business it is, and they say, well, the business of selling you stuff.
Right. Exactly. Those people, that drives me crazy. I think you and I fall on this other spectrum where we got all this expertise, and a lot of it is every business has unique like things that they need and solutions and things that happen. You can't just say like, I get this thing packaged up, we're going to sell it to you. Right? We got to get in there and dig in and learn. And a lot of the time it's working through processes with you, right? And our expertise is the actual processes and understanding how to put things together and where to see things and ultimately how to get you out the other end with a solid product or profit margin, right? Or new leads, whatever it is you need. That's kind of separate. I think we're talking about being entrepreneurs in the grind.
Yeah. And we got off track.
I think we did. But that's okay. Getting off track's okay.
Yeah, it was a good topic. But anyway, the grind comes down to the fact that you're not addicted to like the money. You're not addicted to a short work schedule. You're addicted to growing this thing that's your baby. And you want to bring whoever can help you in to help you grow the baby. And you can't stop thinking about that baby. And that's when you know that this grind is something that you have to be involved in, something that you can't live without, and something that you need to be doing because it's what drives you to move forward and keep your focus.
And it's not a problem. Sometimes I have to question myself, or I see other people. Or the big one is non-entrepreneurs that don't grind, giving you the advice on what you should be doing. You should be relaxing. You work too hard. Right? Don't listen to that nonsense, right? It's just, don't listen to it, right? I enjoy the grind. That actually is my relaxation, right? Chandler enjoys the grind. Don't tell us not to grind, right?
If I can't do that, I go crazy.
Yeah, like what is there to do? I've got this figured out at my own house. Like we finally moved into the place we want, and it's got the pool and the whole thing, and Chandler's been over, right? So I actually can't go out and sit down and do nothing. Like it lasts for like 10 minutes, and then I'm up. Like I'll look over and be sitting there and go, oh, I want to move that bush. Like I can't just sit. It's impossible to sit and enjoy this thing I've created. So I think a lot of the time they get in their heads they're trying to create this certain thing. What happens if you create it? Then what? It's not over. You just move right past it and create it.
Yeah. And once you've created it, I mean, it's a grind to create it and get it moving and get it motoring. But then once it's actually functioning, now you've got a whole new world of entrepreneurship you're in now. So now you're in the phase of actually continuing to develop your business, evolve your business, keep your customers, understand retention and communication, and making sure that everybody's happening moving forward. A lot of people get into it and they're like, oh, you just grind it out and then you collect this magical passive income for the rest of your life. And anybody who's selling you that is selling you hopes and dreams, because it's not like that. It's a continuous process. Like I need to understand communication. I need to understand what people are saying. I need to know what works in my product. I need to know what doesn't work. I need to know why my employees aren't happy or why they are. And I have this thirst, and I need to figure out the staffing I need to put in order to make all these things come together and understand these processes. And if I just fall apart and think I'm going to collect passive income, that's when you lose your business and it falls apart.
A lot of people set that up. That's not saying that creating companies with passive income's not. I mean, that's legit, right? So the more companies you create with passive income, the more successful you are and the more secure you are. But I can tell you this, an entrepreneur that enjoys the grind and don't run away from it, enjoy it. All they do is they create a company with passive income. Most of them then go off and create another company for passive income, right? Like it's
an addiction.
It's an addiction. Nobody retires to islands, right? They're not that. What's
and
that
passive
income flies around and just spends money? No, that's not normal.
It doesn't work. And that if you think that passive income is truly passive, it's not, because you're still putting in hours and hours behind the scenes to make sure everything's evolving and moving forward and functioning. And it's never really passive. Yeah, it's coming in on a regular basis, and hopefully it's improving and increasing over time. But there's a lot that goes into that supposed passive income to make it actually come in.
Right. And so I guess the moral of this story today on the grind is don't be afraid of the grind. This is what we do, right? Like entrepreneurs create and work and get after it. And, it's not who wants to work 9 to 5. There's all those other hours to do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just don't be afraid of it. And I don't think we're saying like you're supposed to work 15 and 20 hours a day. But the grind is it's real. People do it. You need to find the balance and everything, but it is what it is, right? I think it is an addiction. Running business and being and that whole thing is an addiction, I think.
Yeah, and the moral of the story is it's not that you, like you're saying, you have to work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's that sometimes you have to work really hard and really long hours, and sometimes you get to kick back and not work so hard. And sometimes you work holidays, and sometimes you take Wednesday off in the middle of the afternoon. Right. Your schedule is just a little bit all over the place based off of what your workload is looking like and what fires are being put out and how smooth your processes are. And
pretty normal, and it's not. I know when I take time off, I shut down. So for me, it's I enjoy movies. It's for me, reading a book is work. So if I need to read something, I crush it fast to get and take notes and get it off my plate because I actually consider it work. So for me, it's like movies and stuff that my mind will actually shut off on and check out.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of movies. Where it's at, and then for books, I won't read because it's work for me, like you're saying, and it wastes my time. But I'll listen to audiobooks in the shower.
Nice.
That's how I can consume
book
content.
Multitasking, right?
Yeah,
because you got to get it done.
I think that. Yeah, and that's a construct we come up with in society too. It's if you don't read 865 books a week, you're not an intelligent person.
Yeah, come on, make movies for all that stuff.
I can watch the movie after the fact.
Right. I have a library of all the books I've read, and people they're like, well, these aren't books. This is like manuals and it's actual knowledge base, but for work, and I could never read reading a novel or any of that. It's so not how my brain works.
No, I won't even look or touch a book that has anything to do with fantasy or a novel or anything. If it doesn't have something constructive I can pull out of it when I'm listening to it, It's not going to get.
Yeah. And we're a lot alike, but I think, lots of people enjoy reading books. I think everybody's built differently, obviously. And, it's funny how I view. It's why I kind of quit golf, right? I don't have time for it. It takes up way too much time and there's way too much to do. Right.
Yeah. And it's frustrating.
It's frustrating. But same for me with novels.
It's true. When it comes down to it, you just have to do what you like to do and what makes you happy, and then that's your leisure time, and stick with it. Don't do anything anybody tells you should do because it's not you.
This is good. We're getting all over the place today on this podcast.
Yeah. Hey, this one is out of control. Hey, Tara says there's nothing wrong with reading books. She's one of the Ninjalinas. Is she a reader?
Who's it? Is it Tara?
Yeah.
Dude, she's a monster reader. She reads a book a night.
Oh, geez. See, she's that other side.
Except for this last week, you guys were on that we had a huge build and launch, and I don't think she got much reading in.
That was like a 19-hour day building that thing out.
So, yeah, she's a big reader. I go for the pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to listen. If I can't listen to it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, good times. Great episode. We got all over the place in all kinds of different areas.
This is good, though. I think this is good, though. A little insight into the mind of business owners and how they think.
Yeah, exactly. So, sometimes you got to work hard. Sometimes you get to rest a little, and you got to learn the way that works best for you.
That's right. So, talking about rest, we should book a trip, maybe SoCal. We get some business going on down there.
Yeah, we're gonna we should be heading SoCal maybe, I don't know, tomorrow.
Nice. Go get some, combination work, leisure.
Yeah, work and play. We call that a workcation.
That's right. Call that out.
That.
That's just our lives. We workcation.
Yeah, we can go anywhere and work. Just work till noon and then go leisure a few hours and then work again in the evening.
Yeah, workcation. I like that. We're coining some new terms here.
Yeah, we're going to start that. We'll start a new series, the Workcation series.
That's it. Good stuff.
All right. It's been fun. Good times.
We might see you guys tomorrow.
We're not sure, though, because it's the Almost Daily Show.
That's right.
All right. See ya.